Hi again. In today's lesson we will continue doing some phonetics, and this time we will see the letters Q and K, or letras Q y K. Okay? Q, K. First, let me tell you that letter Q or Q in Spanish is always followed by the muted letter U, okay? Always. You have never letter Q in Spanish unless it's followed by letter U. And this letter U is always mute. And the two cases where in Spanish we use letter Q are for letter E and for letter I, or letra E, letra I. This is read que and this is read ki. So why these two cases only? Because we have in Spanish the letter C. Okay? Letter C. The same as in English, letra C or letter C can have two sounds, S, like the S, or K, right? So when letter C is followed by A, O, or U, it has the K sound. When letter C is followed by letters E or letter I, it has a S sound, okay? So, in Spanish, this would be read C and this would be read C, right? But if we want to pronounce the sound que or ki in Spanish, we cannot use a C. So there's that we use the Q. Q-U, que, and Q-U, ki. Okay? So only for those, because for ka, ko, and ku, we don't need Q because we have the C, right? Ka, ko, ku. So letter Q is needed in Spanish exclusively for these two sounds, que and ki. That's why many times in Spanish alphabets, when the letter Q is not alone, not by itself, but letter Q is written like this, right? A capital Q and a lowercase u to indicate that Q is always followed by a U and this U is always mute, right? And letter K in Spanish, or letra K, has the same sound as the Q, but the K is a letter that many people don't even consider part of the Spanish language, right? Because all the sounds that the pronunciation of the K can be replaced by the C and the Q, so it's not needed. So K only indicates an imported word, a foreign word that comes from from another country, from another language, right? An international word like distance measures or weighing measures, okay? For example, kilómetro is written with K because kilómetro comes from the Greek kilo, right? Kilogramo, kilogram. And whiskey, right, means whiskey. Whiskey, since it's obviously an English word that has been accepted in the Spanish language, it has traditionally carried the K, indicating that that is a foreign word that has been adapted, of course, because in Spanish you write it without this E, right? That is common in English. However, also kiosco. Kiosco comes from kiosk, another English word. So it kept the K indicating that it's a foreign word that has been accepted by the Real Academia Española, the Spanish scholars. However, after some years, the Spanish language has decided to create or to incorporate fully those words into the language, so they have decided to replace the K by a QY, okay? So, kiosco is how it's written or spelled nowadays, with Q, U, and I, kiosco. Although the old way is also okay, right? Whiskey. Now it's also written whiskey, right? With G, U, diéresis, I, S, Q, U, I. Whiskey. However, whiskey is still used, accepted, and correct. And kilogramo or kilómetro, you can also write it with Q, okay? Total Spanialization, if you want to call it like that. Españolización or castellanización. You replace the K by the QU and you have kilogramo. You can do the same with kilómetro. So kilogramo would be 100% Spanish, but kilogramo with a K is also correct, and actually in most dictionaries you will still find kilogramo with a K, right? So although the Spanish way of writing would be with a Q, many foreign words that have been incorporated into Spanish still use the K, and that's okay. However, because of this particular feature of the letter K in Spanish, that it only signals those foreign words, that's why many people argue that this should not even belong to our language. Okay, these are other examples of the letter Q. We have que or que. This que with a tilde means what. This que without the tilde means that, like for an explanation. He said that he will not come. Okay? Aquí for here. Aquí. You can see that the letter Q is always followed by a U and later either by an E or an I. Those are the only two sounds that Q has in the Spanish language. Okay, so I hope that now it's clear how and when to use the Q and the K or the C, right? So I hope this lesson has been useful, and probably I'll show you next time one more lesson about phonetics. So have a nice day.